Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. I thought we'd start here on the actual start menu because today we're talking about one of the new quality of life changes that's going to affect majoritively new players, and it's actually quite difficult to see this until you create a new character yourself. So what we've done is I spent quite a bit of time yesterday, in between other things, getting a conjurer. Yes, the class Conjurer to level 30 on a new character. We created one on Hyperion, just simply because I didn't have a primal character. Now I do. So shout out to people that might be on primal. Of course, we're not going to look at the cutscene or anything. What I wanted to demonstrate today is how the game allows you to now easily switch between gear sets, and it automatically allows you to adjust to things. So just as a bit of a reiteration of how it currently or up to this point had worked. Essentially what would happen is as you would level up your class in a game, for example a conjurer or whatever it might be, a pugilist, an archer, once you hit level 30 and you have done your job quests, basically your class quests, for example for conjurer that's over here at Stillglade Farn or Fane, and essentially once you've done that, you will get a job crystal. Here we are, right? So we've finished our job quest for our conjurer. This would essentially be the rank up if we were to turn into white mage, right? So we would turn this in. Essentially, we're going to skip through this. We're not going to show that stuff on screen. And what would happen is you would receive your job stone. It might differ depending on what class you are playing as, but essentially when we get this, we have access to white mage. So the new thing that's been added is essentially the ability to transfer everything that you already have set up to your job. Right, so now we have access to our job crystal, right? So it's not immediately unlocked. As soon as we unlock this, as soon as we use this, boom, this is the new screen. So unfortunately, I can't make this any bigger for you. Let's just put that here because it's a bit easier to read. It says, transferring hotbar settings. By changing your job to white mage, you may carry over the hotbar and cross hotbar settings from conjurer. The hotbar and cross hotbar transfer. So the source, conjurer, destination, white mage. As the actions from Conjurer may also be used when playing White Mage, transferring these settings will allow you to readily play in a similar fashion. This option is recommended for those who have little or no experience with White Mage. Should you require time to consider, this window will open again the next time you change your job to White Mage. This window will no longer display after progressing through job quests. So as you can see, so we can change this back in a second. So let's press the wait button. So by changing to white mage, you'll see our bars are completely messed up now. So things that I had on a different bar setting are in different places. It's moved everything. And that's because essentially white mage is now being classified outside of Conjurer. This has now created a new gear set as well, and that whole setup with the soul. If we were to go back to Conjurer, our bars are the same, right? So what this does essentially is when you go to equip this and this window comes up, if we were to press the transfer button, so let's do that now, you'll see what it will do is it reverts back to our Conjurer bars that we had set up, right? But now, instead of that, we are equipping our white mage stone. This might seem such a simple thing, but when I was first playing this game, I was under the impression that everything was placed methodically. I had learnt to have like Medica, for example, on button 6. I had learnt to have Cure 2 on the equals key, things like that, right? You bring yourself into a false sense of security. And then when you get your level 30 job quest, you do get your job stone. And then you're like, hold on a minute, my bars are completely messed up now. So this is a really nice quality of life feature. And of course, we can also set that as a new armory slot as well, because at the start of a game now, there's no longer a need to unlock different armor sets. You have 100 right from the offset as soon as you create a character at level 1. So we can just either update this set, which is what I would normally do, bish bash, and now that turns to white mage. Basically, this will automatically turn off when we progress enough through quests. So be sure you know what you're doing before you actually do it. But I think this is definitely something that was worth going out of my way to show rather than just tell. It took me a while to actually get this character up, but I did want a character on Primal anyway. But yeah, what a cool feature that is. I really wish this had existed when I first started playing the game in 2.0. You know, like all that time ago. It is such a fundamental change, and this will happen on pretty much any of the jobs that you will unlock. So as a new player to the game, this would be fantastic. You'd be able to set your bars up however you want with, you know, the knowledge that yes, you will have to place these new actions that you've acquired, such as presence of mind, on your bars manually if you haven't already, you know, done this, because this is still technically your class bars that you've just updated from. But it's so much better. It is so much better rather than having something immediately scrambled. And as I can say, you know, Conjurer is a pretty bad example because we've only got, what, 5 abilities in total at that sort of level at 30. But you put that on, like, I don't know, a pugilist or, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, you've got a lot more stuff being scrambled. And it can be difficult, it can be jarring, because not everybody will know what everything kind of does by this level. It's still early days, you might not fully understand things, but you will gain a comfort zone, you know, naturally, a muscle memory of where things are placed. So now you no longer have to have that jarring experience of equipping a jobstone and losing where your buttons are. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. More videos on the way. Some of the videos like this take a little bit longer to make, so thank you. I appreciate the likes in advance. Have a good one, and I'll see you all next time. I do have an emote I can use. There we go. There's a smile and a pose. That's not really a bow, but it'll do. Bye-bye.